I don't know if I can tell if it's live or not, but in case we are, hello and welcome back to the Prop Shop. I'm your host, Caldenes. Basically, what we do here is we make things. Mostly, we just kind of make things out of foam. That's what we do. So in case I need to say it again, I'm your host, Caldenes. This is live, not live, live in the Prop Shop. And right now I'm making some simple kind of knee guard type deals. No, they fit over knee pretty well. They're pretty simple here. So yeah, we'll kind of foam heat them up. I want to make sure they have a little bit more lip to the edge. That gives them a bit more curve here. You see how it kind of bows in the middle? Check that out. So we're going to want to fix that. I'm going to heat it up around, kind of mold it. But first, I kind of want to get a little bit of a cut on it, so that way it has kind of a bevel here. Yeah. And then I'll also show you a technique here in a little bit. I basically want them to bend about that much, so a little less than an inch inward is where I'm going to want this to be. Right there, bam. So we're doing a third of an inch, about. I'm going to kind of see how that looks on this side. A little over a half inch here, third of an inch. No, it's like 1 3/4 really. But I'm going to kind of show a X-Acto knife. Not really a hack. I don't like calling these things hacks, but it's kind of a neat little trick you can do with some tape when you're making bevels with your knife. So you take your X-Acto knife. You see it? Can you see it? Can you see that bad boy? Wow. I really hate that the light is shining right through there. You take your X-Acto knife, and you can kind of already see a mark I made, but an easier way than to just draw on it is to do something like this. Well, not that it's easier than drawing on it, but now that you have tape wrapped around your knife, it gives a little bit of a lip, so that way even if your hand does float a little bit, it acts as both a mark and guide, and also kind of a stopper where it's really not going to cut because it's tape. So it's pretty neat. Not that I figured it out or anything. Totally saw it on Facebook somewhere, but still, it sure is really cool. I do not like any of that. I think I need to sharpen this knife like 100%, totally. Shame. Darn shame. I thought I sharpened it enough earlier, but here we are. I know I said ow, but I didn't actually cut myself or anything. Oh, this is dull. Oh, I'm gonna have to really sharpen it. Man, that sucks. right, let's see if like third time's the charm here. A little bit easier. A little bit easier. Not perfect by any means, but a little bit easier. That's for sure. Not great though. Not great. Okay, it's cutting like butter on the other side though, so that's nice. So basically, let's clean this out a little bit. Made a little bevel here. Don't know how well you can see that, which gives it a little bit more of a lip. So we can turn it in like that. And that way it'll hug the knee more. And it'll also give a flat surface for when we put these little side armor bits on the knee. Makes sense? Makes sense. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh yeah, now she's cutting like a charm. Beautiful. Wow. And that does exactly what we want it to on both sides. Haha, look at that. Let's do it to this side. We did an inch, inch and a half, inch and 3/4 about. I think that's where we were at. I about just like bit that with my teeth, you know, to try to uncap it. But that almost never really ends real well, so just, no, yeah. Alright, so you can kind of see this is the line we're cutting along here. I want to know how it is. In the palm of my hand, I still look like a fool in front of your friends. I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Yeah, I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. It has been a hot minute since we've done a live in the prop shop. Almost. Actually, over 2 months. People probably don't even remember that I do this sort of thing. Oh well. That's okay, I don't do it for other people, I do it for fun. Alright, now that we have these made, these bevels made, bevels are really important because I'm going to actually cut this one down a bit more. But once we get these bevels nice and glued in, we'll be able to make our circles, and we'll do that while our bevels are waiting to be glued. And we're going to make these cool little circles that are going to kind of go around the knee armor, kind of like where a knee joint would be. Kind of like that type deal. Well, I didn't know that. Make sure both of these are feels pretty good. Okay. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Now ready for some hot glue. Is this bad boy, is he heated up? Yeah, he is. both sides with hot glue, but we're not going to get the hot glue near the ends, you know. And then we're going to, before we fold them in, we're going to fold them out, kind of let the hot glue get in there, and then we're going to fold them in. And that's going to look something like that. Then we just kind of got to wait. We got to chill for the hot glue to cool. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. So we just kind of... How have you been doing? How's your day going so far? Pretty good? Mine's alright, I would say. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. Hot glue. Maybe I'm not seeing comments, I don't know, but you might be commenting, but I'm not seeing them. I guess I'll have to check on my phone. I should do that after this hot glue is done. I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Now in the palm of your hand, I still look like a fool in front of your friends. And I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. I know. I give Toby Keith a run for his money. I am a natural talent. I'm aware. I'm aware. Hot glue is about cooled here. So very cool. So now it kind of makes our knee look a little flat. But I still think it's gonna work enough. I think I need like one of those dome, those foam anvils people are always talking about. I think I need to cut up one of those and finally make one, because I would love to get a more rounded shape for this guy. And I think we can do that with just heat. That reminds me, I wanted to check and see if comments were actually showing up, or what exactly was the his apps with that going on. No, okay. It doesn't look like there are any comments. Very cool. I just wanted to make sure, though. That happened before, and it makes me feel like I'm going crazy. Let's go ahead and glue the other knee here. And these honestly might not end up being knees. These might end up being elbows, because they feel kind of small. They feel kind of small for knees. But yeah, let's just go ahead. Still look like a fool in front of your friends. Yeah, I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Yeah, I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. Okay. Same thing as last time, rinse and repeat. We're going to open it up backwards first. And then we're going to close it up. Yeah, I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. I wish somehow I didn't know now what I didn't know then. So YouTube, yeah, ridiculous. Facebook has completely revamped in the last 2 months, anyways, how they do live streams. So if for some reason ever felt possessed to like live stream a video game on here, I could do that, which is kind of cool. Or at least it's easier now to do it, that's for sure. Yeah, you can totally do screen share. You can choose camera inputs. You can choose for it to use my live stream key. Every computer gets a live stream key that you would normally use for like Twitch or YouTube. Facebook never used that, which is why I always used Facebook, was because I don't know how to work live stream keys or computers or OBS Studio or whatever. But now you can do that with Facebook if you want, so then when you go live everywhere else, it's also live on Facebook in the same way. So that's kind of cool. It's very streamlined now, and I see that if you're more technologically advanced than I am, that the live stream process is way easier, way easier. Man, I do wish we get some comments, and makes it a lot easier, you know, so people can just watch and not have to comment. I can't see who's watching, so I don't care. Do whatever you want. If I'm providing any kind of content, hey, that's what I'm here for. But definitely makes it sound like I'm not rambling to myself like a crazy person. Because if I don't talk, then I'm insane, and I'm really quiet, and the stream gets boring. But then I'm talking to myself. And trust me, I love the sound of my own voice. You don't have to convince me of that. These are dry. Very cool. So now that these are dry, we can unplug our hot glue gun. I realize I'm kind of looking like too much of a college student here with the hat on, but well, I guess my hair doesn't look terrible. I just didn't want it to look real bad in the live stream, you know, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at with that. Oh man, wild. So we are going to be cutting the armor we're making. Whether we end up, these might just be elbows. They seem really small. I might make these elbows. Either way, in effect, excuse me, tired. Slept until 10 today, which means I'm tired. Shoot. Yeah. So I think I'm so mad about how little glue got in the socket there. We're going to go ahead and make the circles for these bad boys. Making the circles that are going to go on the sides here is going to be really simple. We're going to just take the, you know, we had to search the house high and low, of course, for the right size circle, which just so happened to be this 2019 Rock wooden action token, which we are now going to give some really nice black Sharpie lines around the edge of it, because we're going to use it to make our circle. I know, it has been, yikes, a very long time since I've been able to do this. Bam, there's one circle. It's been about 2 months. It's been a little over 2 months, actually. I think the last one was April 1st. I really want to say that was the last time I actually went live, which is ironic that it was April Fool's Day. But life's been a little crazy, a little hectic, you know what I'm saying? Kind of got to wait for things to cool off. You can go live. Ooh, police sirens. That's actually just the fire truck, so that's fine. And so now we have our circles cut, which is also a really cool mask. What's up? I can't see, but I think it looks pretty neat, right? Like, I imagine it has to look neat. All right. Enough of that. Cut it in half. That way we can easily kind of get around the circly bits here. So we're not going to be able to cut out perfect circles with our hand going around it, which is why we're probably going to have to sand it, and they're not going to be perfect circles anyways, as much as I try. Make sure that bad boy is sharp, because when you do circles, it's a pretty rough cut to do these. So sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Trying to keep this top down straight. Be a little tough sometimes. Let's see how well that circle came out. You know, about as good as most circles do. Okay, but not unusably terrible. So it's gonna have to be sanded. That's just a fact of life, though. It's just the way it be sometimes. I don't make the rules. I guess I kind of do, but not really. Not really, that's for sure. Definitely not really. All right, second circle, same as the first, a little bit louder and a whole lot worse. Oh man, I think that's so bad. See, now if I would have kept them together, I would have been able to like do something like this. This is how some of y'all be looking. Some of y'all Harry Potter looking muggles. Some Harry Potter looking muggles. Be like, hello, I'm Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. I showed you love playing some of my sky ball on my broomstick, my flying broomstick. Boy oh boy, I had best friends. I've got my friend Don, good old Don, and Jemima. They sure are great friends of mine. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. That's enough of that. Yeah, I appreciate the laugh, but it's, oh boy, peak comedy, I must say. Wow. Sadly, it is not Paste Pot Pete's. I really should. I would be the only Paste Pot Pete cosplayer ever, but no, we're making some elbows here, which are gonna look something like this when we're done with the circles on the side. Look kind of cool. Yeah, that's gonna look pretty neat. We need to cut out 2 more circles. If you actually did watch that whole video, Chance, then wow, I was just so incredibly shocked at the overall performance of Paste Pot Pete's. I mean, just wow. Just wow. I need to go ahead and cut more circles with my rock. You can't be too careful with J.K. Rowling. She might, like, turn me black or, like, gay or something after she makes a book about me. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that in the current political climate, but it's true. Your lack of faith is disturbing. It's 1 circle. Let's get a second circle cut out here. Alright, and then 2 more circles. Second verse, same as the first. This is like our 8th verse or whatever, but still. Photon, classic Calder sirens. It is, that is true. I really can't help the sirens. I wish they weren't. I wish they weren't there. You know, I gave you guys pretty clear instructions on who to vote for, and even though Photon is like actually a really solid pick, like Photon would have been the best use of points on my last team, that's for sure. But I want an excuse to play the zombies where they might actually be like kind of good against like other bad figures, you know. But Photon is definitely a solid pick. I even couldn't be mad until I actually like checked. I'm like, he's not bad. That was That's probably what bothered me the most, is that Photon wasn't terrible. Anything with running shot, anything that has movement attack for the first 4 clicks of its life and doesn't like instantly lose it. It seems back then I either pay 200 points and it has a full dial of movement attack, or I pay almost 100 for a single click of movement attack, top dial, and that's it. You know? And the fact that he has movement attack for 4 clicks of his life is pretty solid. Invulnerability. It's still awful. Which Spider-Man? The zombie Spider-Man or the Spider-Man I played? Because both are terrible. That Spider-Man is bad. I mean, I just want to play the zombies, though. I probably own, like, the 2 worst zombies from that set. I hate to say it, but, like, Colonel America is not great, and Spider-Man is awful. But those are the only 2 zombies I sadly have. I need Hulk and Wolverine still, so need to get those bad boys locked down. Oh, yes, I do say. Let's actually get that bad boy cut out and then make a fool of ourselves. Yeah, you can give the Phoenix Force to a lot of stuff and make it way better. But some figures is no. I mean, having Energy Explosion with 0 range because they accidentally messed up like the horror clicks and the normal hero clicks like powers is pretty funny. First figures to have cards, though, even if they were horror clicks cards. It's pretty funny. And that's the last circle. Look at that. Now it's like one of those big monocle. Well, yes, I do sigh. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. All right. We need to sand each one of these circles down. So it's going to get a little loud. Not crazy loud. A little loud. Let's see. I want to get rid of all this gross scrap junk. Noise warning in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I didn't know how well they'd turn out, but they are certainly more circular feeling and smoothness than they were before. So that's pretty great. Pretty cool. We're gonna go ahead and measure out where they should line up on these guys. I'm gonna hit these guys with some heat really quick. Just because they aren't quite the shape I really want them to be, and if I hit them with a little bit of heat, it should be better. Ouch, ouch. Dang chance. Ouch, bro. But yeah, zombies are bad. The Mutations of Monsters Spider-Man is not terrible. Not as terrible, anyways. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to shape these guys much better than that. It's not amazing, but it'll do. It will do. Let's pop a little bit of heat on the next one. And we need to heat up all the circles just so we can seal them, so that way the the contact cement sticks better. This is what I sound like when I haven't worked on anything in almost a month. I forget what all my chemicals are called. Goodness gracious. Lightsaber ignites. It's been, I don't know, probably a good year or so, maybe two, since I've seen, Simeon is the worst, Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith. But I've been watching the Clone Wars a lot. Chance McCall is the Florida man. They don't like round up themselves as circles, but they look like circles enough to where, you can't really tell the difference between these two circles, can you? It's there. There's a big difference. They don't quite line up, but you can't tell that. So that's really all that matters. Let's get the first kind of cuff link thing done. I think I'm just going to I'm just going to play it by like eyesight, just kind of line it up. But I better mark it off. Okay. Once again, there's circle. I don't know why I said once again there's circle, but they are. They are a circle. They are circles. Maul season 5 is brutal. Oh yeah. I don't remember when Maul came in. If it's before or after Cad Bane. I know I watched like when it was coming out. I know I watched all the Cad Bane stuff. But I don't know if I totally remember Maul in it. I probably saw commercials for Maul. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it because like I really didn't have a good memory of what all episodes I've seen. But so far, it's like I've seen basically all of season 1. So that's kind of what I figured. And I think after season 1 is where it's going to be like I wasn't able to consistently watch it as much as I could during my childhood. So we'll have to see like the difference in all that. But I hear there's like really good Obi-Wan Kenobi Maul fights, which is like I'm all there for that, obviously. That's that good stuff. That's that good Star Wars. And then, you know, oh, well, I did know he got robot legs. Boom. All our lines are cut. Fancy. But isn't it like spider legs? Oh, dude, I'm okay with Grievous's voice. It's not this. I don't think it's the same like it is in the movie, but I don't think Grievous's voice was terrible. You know. We're gonna kind of line these up, take turns lining these up, and then fully patterning out where I want them to go. So I don't over the contact cement. So now each one is going to look something like that. So I kind of screwed that one up. No, I didn't. Okay, it looks fine. Wow. Wow. I think General Grievous was always one of my favorite characters from Revenge of the Sith. And I'm really happy I just get to see more Grievous in Clone Wars. Just because he's a cool character and we get to see a ton of him. We didn't get to see a lot of him in the movie. He had one of the coolest fights, obviously. And then, you know, he was out. He was like one and done. It's like, oh, by the way, he's General Grievous and he's dead. Kind of the same thing with Darth Maul, you know? But that's why it's cool that they also bring Darth Maul back, you know? So, yeah. My nose was trying to act funky there for a second. I'm like, I'm about to put a mask on. Please don't stuff up on me, bro. Yeah, but I remember like Cad Bane at least feeling like one of the most real like threats. That's got to be satire, Chance. I can't. He's cool, but he's no Ray Scott. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Chief. Sorry. But yeah, the OG clone cartoons, just choice, just prime right there. And I'm really loving Disney Plus being able to rewatch all of them. I think they're all on Netflix though. Before I just didn't watch them, so you know, no excuses really. You see, and that's the bummer, because I really enjoyed Solo. Like, unironically, besides that one droid chick who is just kind of like an extra thing, is kind of weird. Like, I liked Ansel Elgort, or whatever his face was. I liked him as Han Solo. And I really liked the guy that, This Is America, whatever, as... Dang it! Wow, what's his name? Colt 45. Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams' character. For some reason, I can't say Lando Calrissian. I really liked the dude. That guy is Lando Calrissian. So you know, I would like a sequel, but it didn't do well. Then that's Last Jedi's fault. Last Jedi was such a garbage movie that it made Solo do poorly at the box office. Donald Glover. Thank you. To be fair, I never watched Community, so I really only knew him from that video and then from Solo. But yeah, Donald Glover. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for more satire, Chance. I forgot that they put Jar Jar Binks in the Clone Wars cartoon and that there's kind of a lot of him, and it's rough. It's rough.
Huh, huh, huh. She might be the worst. She really might be. I did not like her one bit. I did not care for her. I feel like if I watched or like rewatched Last Jedi, I might not hate it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've only ever watched each sequel movie once, except for Rogue One, which isn't really a sequel, it's a whatever movie. I've seen Rogue One like 3 times. But every other movie that's come out since Force Awakens, including Force Awakens, I've only seen once. And I've never wanted to watch them again, so yeah. I do like Solo. I would watch Solo again, though. But yeah. It really be like that sometimes. I might as well have this other piece drawing as well. There's no reason not to. Hey! Hey! He was pretty good. He was pretty good. But like, for some reason, like, both of my brothers also were like, dude, Babu Frick is the man. And I'm like, huh. I mean, sure, I can see it. But I don't know how we came to that conclusion. Oh, man. Hey! Hey! Yeah. Oh, Babu Frick, man. Oof, 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 oof. That's pretty legit, Josh. It's pretty legit. I like the prequels. I think the last two, so Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith, have the most rewatchability. I enjoy them. I think you kind of, when you watch it as a kid, you're like, whoa, these lightsaber fights are so sick. And that's probably what like makes you enjoy them the most. But I could still rewatch them. Plus, almost every other line in Revenge of the Sith is a meme. So it's, you gotta watch it. Just for meme material alone. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. Not quite. It's still sticky. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. One thing I've noticed is just how long it takes for A New Hope to like get rolling. Watching it recently. The Republic sent it. Yeah, I guess that's wrong. That is wrong. Look at that. That's pretty cool. E.T.'s family was in the Republic Senate, bro. Darth Plagueis the Wise, bro. Okay. Very solid. Very solid. And obviously, release order being the correct way to watch them. So that's good. That's good on your friend that knew how to show somebody else Star Wars.
Ugh. Oh, I hate that mask so much. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. So now, I just have to decide whether or not, I think they are too big to be, like, if I curl them inwards, and like really heat form them inwards, they could be elbows. But I think they look pretty solid for knees. I think that's pretty good. You know, it doesn't need to be a humongous, like, bulbous knee joint. I think it could be bigger for the knees, but I think that's fine, honestly. Trying to figure out how to get in the camera here. There we go. That's not terrible. I shouldn't say that's not terrible. I do think that looks pretty good. I think that's a pretty solid piece right there. Special thanks to the ROC for getting me the right sized disc that I needed in order to make the circles for these rounded like knight style knees. And I think the best way to attach these, you know, I was instantly going to say like maybe elastic on the back, but which is good. That's how they do normal knee pads. But even then, normal knee pads kind of slip a lot. I think the best way to attach these is like put a magnet on the inside, and then put a magnet on the other side of your pants, and they absolutely won't move at all, really. But that's something I'll have to talk with someone about to see if they want to alter their pants. You know, then that pair of pants comes permanent cosplay pants once you stitch magnets into them. You know, so yeah, that would work. I don't like Velcro. You could obviously Velcro the sides to it as well. I don't think that's a smart way to do it. I like to use as little Velcro as possible. I'll do it sometimes, and almost every time I use Velcro, I end up hating it. I'm just like, why did I do Velcro? It is so unreliable. You can only press it so hard and make it stick when you're wearing it around all day. I think that's a trap so many people fall into is Velcro. Magnets are the way to go. It's way harder to implement magnets than Velcro, but worth it in the long run for wearability, costume not falling apart on you. I think these are two really solid pieces. And I kind of had to make a custom pattern for them, so I really like how they turned out. I'm really bummed because when I'm making this armor, it's a real hodgepodge kind of thing I'm doing. There is a piece of my bristle brush came off, and it's stuck here. So I've got to get tweezers. I thought I had some here. There they are. Because that is going to bother me for a very long time. So I better take that out right now. And even if I don't like pull it completely out, I just need to snap it off like that so I can't see it anymore. There we go. Perfect. All right, well, sweet, fantastic. So you guys got to see, from the rounded bits, you got to see me make circles. Bend these in, so that way these would be on the side and less kind of flayed out like that, you know? Instead, they're more towards the side, which looks nice. And, yeah, you got to see me kind of make grooves, make these little circly bits. So I think that's a pretty solid place to end it. Normally we go for an hour, but there's no need to like waste time doing anything else, I don't think. I mean, I can cut these patterns out, you know, I guess. That would be about it. I guess we could do that. I wouldn't hate it. I like talking about Star Wars, so this is something that's not going to make any noise or make me wear a muffled mask, so I guess I'll cut these out, I suppose. Or will I? Progress was made, that's right. Progress is made, that's the important part. Or do I not have my tape? And then if I don't have my tape, I think I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, I don't want to have to run somewhere and try to find my tape in the living room or whatever. So I think we are just going to call it a night because progress was made, as Josh pointed out. My nose is starting to get stuffy for some reason, and I got a pound of ground beef with my name on it. So I want to thank everyone that tuned into the live stream. Facebook updated how live streams work, and I think this is fine. I can still see everything basically the same, so it's not too big of a deal. So I'm going to say the same lie that I say every time, which is I'll try to be here again next week or in the next couple of days. But I said that last time too, and that was 2 months ago. So here we are. Hopefully 2 months don't go by without a live stream. I really do enjoy this, and I need to be working on just anything, cosplay or just making stuff in general, a lot more. So I want to thank everybody out there, and I will see you guys in the next